came up on Fried Bologna, boy, what you expect?
Hello?
What's up, bro?
Hey, not much, man. What's going on?
You know, same shit, different toilet, man.
I feel it. And to all of our listeners out there, this is Tin Man TC.
And it's your boy, High IQ.
And this is Fried Bologna.
The podcast is as random as the FBI going the wire on the NCAA. Yikes.
Hey, dude, it's like they was taking down Avon. Man, what's going on in the NCAA to where they got a wiretap? Those aren't easy to come by. Somebody just doesn't say, hey, just tap the wires on this person's phone. No, they got to go to a fucking judge. The judge has to approve it, but before they go to a judge, they got to go to their superiors, and like there's fucking channels. I mean, y'all seen the show. McNulty couldn't just get the wire. There was politics that had to be played before he got the wire.
Yeah, bruh. Yeah. So, first off, we've been known this type of stuff happens. It's rampant in the NCAA, and safe to say, like we talked about in our 96 Bulls thread, it's definitely probably happening in the top 25 schools nationwide.
One of our homies said top 30. I would honestly probably extend that to like the top 50. And I think, you know, the second 25 or the second 20 are just small. It's happening on a smaller scale. It's still happening, but just on a smaller scale. So instead of like somebody throwing a kid $100,000, somebody might be just throwing them 10 or 15.
True. Yeah.
Or
and
5.
I agree. And I think that the schools that, like the big dog schools, the Dukes, the Villanovas, like those type schools, I think that they're just as shady as the worst schools, but they are good at finding incredible loopholes. So
they're good at finding supporters, loyal supporters.
Right.
They've got. I think they kind of handle their business more like the mob, to where if somebody talks, somebody's getting whacked.
Right. it's understood.
And it's not going to be a murder like in your bed. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be somebody coming and popping one in you while you're in the shower. Nah, you're all of a sudden going to die of natural causes. A heart attack's going to happen, or you get in a car accident. Like, it's going to happen like that.
Yeah.
Krzyzewski probably got some bodies on him.
Yeah, Coach K seems about that life. Yeah. He has that stoic look about him.
Yeah. Krzyzewski
man.
looks like the kind of motherfucker that would say, I want him dead. And then just walk out the office. And you're like, oh shit, we better kill that motherfucker.
Get it done tonight. Yeah.
Dean Smith has got some bodies on him. And we all know that Calipari and Patino got bodies on them.
Oh shit, yeah.
There's
Looking
no
like
doubt in
mob
my mind.
bosses on the sideline. Them dudes will be looking like
Exactly.
mob bosses on the sideline.
They look like they own restaurants that they eat in every day, sit in a dimly lit booth,
Yeah.
and conduct meetings with either agents, recruits, or coaches. And they all exchange things in a manila envelope.
Yeah. And then like when like Rick Pitino comes into the establishment, it's never like, hey Rick, it's like, hey, Mr. Pitino, you know, how you doing? You know, it's like that type of shit, right? And he just nods.
And when he comes in there, right. And when he comes in there, the fucking restaurant is never occupied. It's just his goons in there. And they just they escort him back to his booth. There's a newspaper waiting for him, his favorite beverage. And then when he's done having the conversation or the meeting, he doesn't say goodbye or end with a hug or a handshake. He either shoos him with his hand or he just puts his head down and starts concentrating on his food again. And that's when you know, oh, we must be done talking.
Yeah, that's when the meeting's over. Yeah. So I would say 50-50, 50% chance that this may be spot on, or 50% chance that we just watched too many fucking movies. We don't know. But
Yeah, no, I
could
have
be
no
going
idea.
on.
Yeah,
Could be going on.
I would have loved to play for all of those coaches I just named. So, I don't care. Hey, I personally don't give a shit that they're paying these kids or giving these families money. I don't find anything wrong with that. I think they have to do what they have to do as far as remaining competitive, because if you're not doing it, the next coach is. They're doing what they have to do to keep their jobs, because if they start losing, if they even have a losing season, one losing season, they're on the fucking chopping block. So I think I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with the NCAA continuing to make billions off the backs of these kids, paying these coaches millions of dollars, and these kids are not supposed to reap any of these benefits. Their likeness is used on video games and on jerseys, not getting a dime of that money. If they try to sell their autograph, they're fucking suspended. And some of these kids come from some pretty dismal and bleak parts of our country. So I have no problem with it. I hope they keep paying these kids money.
Yeah, and let's be honest. Like college athletes should be getting paid anyway. It's ridiculous that certain programs are literally generating damn near $1 billion, and these kids aren't getting anything. And most of them come from, poor, impoverished backgrounds, right?
Right.
It's hurting them to make that commitment to play basketball in certain cases. Or,
but wait,
but
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Like Allen Iverson, for example, one of the main reasons why he left early was because it was hard for him to, be taken care of like a Division I athlete is taken care of as far as like food and board, right? You get free meals and you get room and board, right? But him enjoying that type of luxury, but his mom and his siblings still being stuck in poverty,
Right.
Like he's getting taken care of in one way, but
Sebastian
he's still not able to take care of his family.
Right. Yeah.
But
it's unfortunate.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you, like, because I was thinking about it. There have been a lot of former players advocating for college athletes getting paid, right? And I think probably the most known is Ed O'Bannon, UCLA dude. Like he's had a lawsuit going on against the NCAA for a long time now, right? But don't you kind of feel like, and for the most part, they haven't gotten anywhere with it, right? The NCAA is huge, and they have a legal dream team, and it's just Ed O'Bannon here. But don't you kind of feel like if a lot more big name players, like relevant players, advocated for that the amount of pressure from the public, from the followers of these players, like, I'm talking like a D Wade or LeBron James or Kobe Bryant. Don't you think
named 2 out of 3 guys that didn't go to college?
But at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter though, because it's like if they advocate for it, think about all the followers that are gonna follow them on that, and with how social media is, that's a lot of pressure from the public, and I feel like the NCAA would eventually have to bend, but right now they're just going against Ed O'Bannon, and it doesn't help that like a LBJ or D Wade, they've said things in the past like, yeah, they believe college players should get paid, but they haven't really advocated for it. And I'm thinking if they advocate for it, then change would come. Don't you agree?
Yeah, to an extent, I do. I think the conversation would get more serious, but it's really difficult for me to believe that after all these years, after a lot of people have said a lot of shit about it, that they haven't even changed a little bit about it. So it's a little difficult to believe that it would actually change. I think their pockets would have to get hurt in order to make those moves, like sponsors pulling away and shit like that, or ticket sales being down, or it would take something like that in order for changes really to be made. Because I mean, you know, I hate to use this kind of comparison, but it's been used before as far as college athletes and slavery. And to an extent, I mean, it's obviously not slavery. These kids are free to do whatever they want to do. They're going to play basketball for entertainment, but yet they generate all the money, all the wealth for an institution who gives them a free education. Yet they know that these kids are not there to get an education. They're there to play basketball. That's why they were recruited to go there. You brought them there with the hopes that they would make money to your athletic program. So to say that you're giving them a free education in return, that's moot. It's not, unless they're contributing academically, they're not there to get an education, man. You know, they're not even going to stay long enough to graduate from there. So
right, yeah.
Anyway,
and any way you look at it, they're getting used essentially. No matter how you spin it.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, enough about that. What you have going on in the world of IQ?
Well, I can tell you this, man. You know, we're getting up there in age, and you know, every now and then, I would say in the last couple months, there's been a couple instances where I'm like, bruh, I'm getting old, bruh. And I'm going to tell you 4 things, small events that happened where that shit hit me. So,
let's hear it, man.
The first incident is, you know, like I said before, many calls during a lunch break or a small break during work. I go to a Starbucks near my job. Now, if I go in late in the afternoon, sometimes there will be kids, like high school kids hanging out after school, right? And I don't really have conversations with these kids, but I'll say what's up to these kids. It's like 4 or 5 high school kids, males, right? And usually when I pass by, they're either talking about hip hop or they're talking about sports, football or basketball mostly, right? So, like I said, every now and then I'll like overhear the conversations. And one day, as I'm going to the Starbucks, I hear them talking about LeBron James and Michael Jordan, who's the GOAT, right? Now, keep in mind, these are high school kids, right? But so they probably don't have like knowledge on the, you know, prime MJ like you and I have. So I hear some of these arguments. Right. But you know, kids are looking at like LeBron James as the greatest thing ever. You know, like Michael Jordan's not even close to them. So I get the feeling that the argument is most of those kids are thinking LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan. So I don't say anything as I go in. As I'm coming out, they're still talking about it. And I stop and I tell these kids, hey. I say, hey. Y'all don't know shit about Michael Jordan. And then walk off. That's some old man shit, bruh. That's some old man shit where I'm like, y'all don't know shit about the 50s. You know what I'm saying? And after I said it, like I had to walk away and like, you know, keep my integrity intact. But as I was walking up, I shook my head. I was like, God damn, I'm getting old, man. That's some old man shit that I just said to these kids. Right. That's some Roger Mayweather shit where he's like, y'all know shit about boxing. He usually says that to kids and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's strike one, right? Now keep in mind, all these events happen probably within like a week and a half, 2-week time span. So that's I'm getting old. Event number 1. Event number 2, right?
The sequel.
So like I'm cleaning up my living room or whatever, right? And my girl's over and she sits down on one of the couches And she's like, man, this couch is like really, really like low, like sinks in. And I was like, yeah, like it's kind of old and I probably need a new one, right? A new couch. And then I say, you know what I really fucking need? I need a fucking recliner in here. Bruh. What I really need is a fucking recliner? Oh, God.
Yeah, that's some old nigga shit right there.
Right. I said, I'm getting fucking old, right? So, the third thing, right? Now,
the trilogy.
Me and you both rock baldies. We rock bald heads, right? Now,
yes. Shave one this morning.
Right. And let's keep it real here. We're just gonna keep it real. That really wasn't like by choice per se. Father Time.
No. Nature played a huge part in my decision.
Yeah, Mother Nature and Father Time. They kind of made that decision for us. Now, I would say that maybe 99% of the black male population that rocks bald heads, most of them are shaving their heads every day because you want that clean, nice, fresh, bald look on the regular, right?
Absolutely.
And if you miss a day, it just don't feel right. It's like kind of walking out the house without brushing your teeth, right?
Yeah, that is accurate. Yes.
Yeah. So, lately, I've been skipping days. I've been going to work, walking in this fucking corporate office, looking like Jason Statham.
Oh, shit.
Right? Yeah. And that all started because one day I got up, looked in the mirror, and I was like, man, I don't got time for this shit. I got more important things to do. Didn't shave my head, walked out the house. Right? And then I get there and I'm like, damn. I touch my head. I'm like, oh shit, it's kind of scruffy up there. And then it hit me. I was like, that was some old man shit, man. Come in here not really caring, walking around like Carl Winslow in here, right? So, yeah, those are the three things that I'm like, bruh, I'm getting old as fuck. Now the third thing I mentioned. Oh, well, the fourth one is kind of embarrassing, but,
Oh, well, now we got to know.
Yeah, so.
No, we got to know. So you got to tell that story.
Chilling with my girl. And, sometimes you play around with your chick and you like, are play fighting with her, right? So.
No, I don't do
I'm
that
not going to lie. We should try. At least it usually leads to sex. But I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna lie. My girl's quick as fuck, right? So she was throwing some jabs. I was countering, and then I proceed to bum rush her and pick her up, throw her over my shoulder. Leonidas type shit. No big deal, right?
Can you give another disclaimer that this is all play fighting? You did not assault your girlfriend.
Correct. Yes.
These days, you got to make sure
the cops at my crib. Yeah, right. Good call, bro. So picked her up, threw her on the couch, playfully. Right. No big deal. Next morning, wake up. Back is locked up. Back is locked up, bruh. On some Tracy McGrady shit, Orlando Magic Tracy McGrady shit. Right?
Oh my god.
Yeah. Had to collect myself before I got out of bed. Literally was a project. And I said, God damn. I'm getting old, bro.
Yeah. You're not as young as you used to be, that's for sure. I did know you as a young man with a head full of hair and a heart full of gold and a mind full of aspirations and dreams. Now I know you as a bald, bitter old man. So yeah,
shit's getting real, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of bald, Like I said before, me and you both are rocking the baldies here. And
proudly, mind you.
I can't proudly, yeah, rock it proud. You know, do what you got to do. And I don't know about you, but like every now and then, I think about when I had the wave cut. I can't say that I miss it, but I do reflect, and I'm like, damn, how did I get here, right? And that leads me to two things that don't mix.
Oh shit, let's hear it.
Two things that don't mix. Bad hairlines and bad barbers. Now,
a nigga's worst nightmare.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Now you've heard the phrase like, hey, people say, hey, you got to take care of your body. You got to eat right. Limit the amount of alcohol, limit the amount of the drugs or whatever, right? Because if you don't, it could take years off of your life. Well, the same thing applies to hair and being a barber. Like having a bad barber can take years off of your hairline, bruh.
This is true.
I probably had, if I had a good barber, I probably had a good 2 extra years of keeping my hair, right? But when you have bad barbers, see, when you start brawning, when your hairline starts thinning a little bit, or the hairline isn't as crisp as it once was, that's when a good barber comes up with a game plan for you, right? So what I mean is, like if your hair starts thinning, when it's time for that edge up, your barber will take a moment and pause. And he may even collab with you, like, okay, hey, what we doing here, boss? What we want to do here, right? Now, the past 2 years prior to me going bald, I didn't have that. I was realizing that my barber, when it came for time for that edge up, my barber would just go to work. Nothing asked, no game plan, nothing. Get home, hairline fucked up. And it got to the point where I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't do it. And that's how I shaved my head. But I had a good 2 years left, bruh. 2 years gone. So, yes, 2 things that don't mix. Bad hairlines and bad barbers. That's all I got.
Man, I'll be honest. I've known this. I think anybody that's ever gone to a barber knows this. But I've never heard it articulated before. So that was well done. Well said. And you couldn't be more right.
Thank you, bro.
But before we continue, I want again, our ads are going phenomenally. Whoever's listening to our podcast out there has been spreading the word, and we've actually got 2 new sponsors today. So,
oh shit.
Yeah. Well, I think the kind folks, our first sponsor, is, Oscar Mayer. And as everybody know, our logo kind of reflects Oscar Mayer, but, Oscar Mayer, fry it, fuck a diet. Apparently that's their new slogan. So, shouts out to Oscar Mayer and Fried Bologna on, their new ad, kind of reflecting what we do over here. And our second sponsor of the week is Trojan Condoms. We prefer raw too. So shouts out to Trojan Condoms and Oscar Mayer Bologna.
Yeah,
and again,
shouts out to them.
Yeah, if anybody's listening to this podcast and they want their products or company sponsored on this podcast, email us, tweet at us, DM us on Instagram. So yeah, those are our 2 sponsors for the week.
Wow. And it's crazy because it's just like, just when I think the sponsors can't get any more random, we managed to outdo ourselves.
Yeah. Hey. The beautiful part about our podcast is everybody is aware that this is a random yet entertaining podcast. So you have a segment called Two Things That Don't Mix. Our sponsors usually don't mix either. So
Damn right, man. I kind of want to talk about because I think last call you talked about the Nipsey Hussle album, and I want to tell you that I did listen to the album. Now, first off, let me say this: shout out to Nipsey Hussle. The album is incredible. I love the album, right? So much so that all last week I was pretty much staying in a hotel, right? And my car was parked in the parking lot like a block away. I didn't have the album on my phone or on my iPod or whatever, right? It was only in my car. I would walk down to the parking lot to listen to that album. Turn it up loud, blast it. That's how much I like this album. The beats on there are absolutely incredible. The production, some of the best that I've heard in a while. Mm-hmm. The content, the message, love it. Hustle, ownership, growth, I respect it. Lyrically, it's cool. Like, he's not like super lyrical, but like he's dropping gems in there. So I fucks with it. Now, I'm going to call this album a West Coast classic.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm not going to call it a classic. However,
I see why you would keep it in a regional classic. I understand that. Yeah. But I do love the fact that it sounds super West Coast. Like, I love the fact that it's no experimentation with sounds. It's just like, you know what you were going to get, and he gave it to you. Right.
Now, the fact that I call it a West Coast classic, though, it's not a classic right now, but I think there's potential that down the line it can be viewed as a classic. It just depends on how much push it gets with the like social media and the videos and stuff, you know. But
right.
Well done. I'm bumping it nonstop, all day, every day.
You know,
so I had to get that.
Oh, same. I haven't stopped listening to it. Besides listening to like Michelle and Joe, just so my daughter doesn't have to listen to rap music. I mean, she is 2, so sometimes I like to mix it up so she don't have to listen to that shit sometimes. But one of the things I really love about the Nipsey album is it doesn't have that obligatory chick-friendly track on there. Not one song is a gangster love song.
Damn, you're right.
Yeah. Even Crenshaw had one. This one doesn't have one. I love that.
I appreciate that too. Yeah, that
Nipsey,
just speaks to the fact that it's just like
your album, and we'd love to have you on the show one of these days. So I'll have my people contact your people.
Yeah, that just speaks to the fact that he just put something out there that is just what he wanted to put out there. Mm-hmm. I support it, man. I fucks with it, man.
Victory lap. Go listen to that shit. You know, you were kind of talking about the haircuts and the barber and whatnot, and I just want to take you down a trip down memory lane for a second. Mm-hmm. And this is likely just kind of an esoteric topic. Esoteric meaning our white listeners will have no idea what we're talking about. This is mainly for the niggas. So, do you remember Murray's hair grease?
Oh boy. Do I ever, yeah. Murray's.
You want to hear something funny about Murray's grease? So growing up, we always had a can of Murray's grease. Like, we just always did. The shit is as thick as like candle wax. It is very difficult to spread on your head. And for that reason, one can will last you a lifetime. And that one can of Murray's grease, I believe we had that can of Murray's grease for at least 15 years.
Yeah. Oh man, that bright ass orange can. Yeah, you're right.
With the two
I had
black folks with fros. I've never seen a black person use Murray's on their afro, by the way. Never.
Impossible, man. It's too thick. It won't rub in. It won't rub in, man. You know.
We've all had that layer of Murray's on our head that didn't rub in with the rest of it, and you could just tell where you put it in.
Yeah. And then sometimes you'll make the mistake where you're supposed to just get like a nickel size.
A nickel, nigga. That's way too much. How much hair you got?
They say that's what they say. It's a nickel size dot of it. But sometimes you get too much of a glob, and then you got to kind of rub that shit into your hands, but it still don't go away. I don't know what's in there. Like, I don't know what is in there to make that type of consistency, but apparently does wonders for the hair, man. Get your wave sharp.
Yes, shit. Man, yeah, that Murray's grease, man. That shit will have your scalp not dry for weeks just off one use, because you can't wash that shit out of your hair.
Oh yeah,
it's like car wax. You know, like how the water just beads up and rolls off your car.
Yeah,
it beads up on your head and rolls off your head.
Yeah, but hey, man, that shit did keep everything in place, man. You know, put that shit on there, brush it, do your little brush routine, man. That shit, your hair would be perfect by the end of the day. It would still be not a hair out of place. You know,
not a single one,
man.
It's it's perfect. It was perfect. I obviously I haven't had an opportunity to use Murray's in a few years, considering that I'm bald. But shouts out to Murray's. I don't know where your headquarters are, but I would like to know what's in y'all secret formula.
Yeah. One of the greatest inventions of all time. Yeah, hands down.
Yes, easily. I want to switch gears completely here, and if it's okay with you, IQ, I would like to get into our Unfuckwittable of the week.
Nobody can touch you.
Oh shit, let's do this.
Nobody.
So, it comes as no surprise, no secret, rather, that there was that mass shooting that happened a little over a week ago, killing about 17 people. And in that time, in this past week, we've got the opportunity to hear from some politicians about what we should do going forward. And namely, our stupid motherfucking president, Donald Trump. He had some input about what should be done going forward. So, my Unfuckwittable of the week is none other than the Unfuckwittable Hall of Famer, the lifetime Unfuckwittable member, our president, my president and yours, Donald Trump. So, do you want to know what Donald Trump's plan is to combat mass shootings at school?
Let's hear this.
IQ, do you want to know what his plan is? His plan is to arm the motherfucking teachers. Oh, at least 20% of them. Oh, maybe even 40%. Arm school teachers. Make sure that your kid's elementary school teacher is strapped. Your middle school teacher is strapped. Your high school teacher is strapped. and your college campus professor is strapped. So this may be a good idea if we were going to school in a war zone, but you don't send your kid to school expecting that something like this is going to happen. You send your kid to school to learn, to be safe in a safe environment. The only shit they should be worrying about is a motherfucking bully. That's it. And maybe getting hazed if they play a sport. None of that weird, sticking broomsticks up their ass hazing, but regular fucking swirly hazing. But I digress. You don't send your kid to school knowing that their teacher is carrying a gun just to be ready for a mass shooting at their school. So what you're telling me, Donald fucking Trump, is you want a fucking shootout at a school between teachers and mass shooters. A shootout at school? I thought that only happened in Compton. Now you want it to happen at every school in the country. And that was a joke about shootouts at Compton. I apologize if it was distasteful. We shouldn't expect teachers to protect students with guns. That is the dumbest, most stupid, most short-sighted, most ignorant statement ever made. And you know why someone like Donald Trump can make a statement like that? Is because he never had to and never will have to worry about a shootout happening at his kid's school. Because I bet you if a shootout happened at their kid's school and the assailant was carrying an assault rifle, they'd change their tunes. So, again, Donald Trump, you're a fucking moron and your ideas are stupid. That is all.
Yep. Only thing I gotta add to that is, just when you think you've heard it all and you've seen it all, the man continues to outdo himself, man. Food for thought. That's our commander in chief. So,
Yeah.
that's the leader of our country. And, it'd be nice to have a leader in the White House that, when he presents possible solutions, he has the ability to foresee possible bad outcomes that may happen if those solutions are put into place. And how you come up with that idea and don't understand the potential catastrophes that can happen, I don't get it. But hey, that's the president. That's the president of the United States, bruh. Man.
Like frightened school teachers just shooting because they're scared. And I don't know, maybe helping out the mass shooter kill another 2 or 3 people. Come on,
It's
fucking retarded.
It's ridiculous, man. It's stuff like that.
How was that even a fucking idea? IQ.
We might be
IQ.
doomed. Well,
these are supposed to be some of the smartest people, some of the most intelligent people leading this country, and a solution they have is giving teachers guns? What the fuck?
well, and what's even scarier is like, okay, I'm just going to assume that it was him. He came up with that idea all by himself. But like again, we've talked about this before. He didn't
come up with that idea by himself.
When
those were NRA talking points.
Okay, but like there has to be checks and balances somewhere. Like he can't. What I'm getting at is someone has to say, hey, bro, this may be a bad idea to say this. And that's what's scary about it. He's doing whatever he wants. Like he's saying whatever he wants.
Yes,
he has absolute power. He has absolute
yes,
power.
King
Someone
Trump
like that
is getting away with whatever the fuck he wants to get away with. Yes. And if
Show me
nobody's
a
told
time
him
in
to
history
dial that shit back now. Go ahead.
Yes. Show me a time in history where that doesn't end bad. Show me.
Yeah.
I think that people are kind of maybe, I think we're taking this thing a little too lightly here. Because yeah, it's all fun and games. You get crazy sound bites and stuff like that, but do we not think that this is going to escalate? Do we not think that he may make a horrible decision that will affect all of our lives and maybe the lives of our kids? Why isn't this being taken more seriously? You know what I'm saying? That's
Because
what's scary. It's
everybody
kind of like
that- Go ahead.
it's just kind of like we're literally just letting history repeat itself, man. Like we're turning a blind eye to things that are obviously corrupt, immoral, wrong. I don't know.
Well, it's because the people that can check his power are a bunch of pussy ass bitches. That's the long and the short of it.
Man,
Yeah,
it's scary,
yeah.
man. It's scary.
And his supporters are just a bunch of morons, just a bunch of blind people that can't see the forest from the trees, that don't see any further than their nose or their own personal circumstances. And even some of them who know their circumstances are voting or supporting things that go against their own best interest because they're a bunch of fucking idiots too. So I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can find a lot of things that make me upset, but I'm going to choose to take this somewhere else, which actually I'm taking it to something else that does make me upset. So I was on the Twitter this past week, and you know how you can see if somebody, liked something or retweeted something. So I clicked on something somebody I follow likes. I don't remember why I clicked on it, probably because the little picture I saw looked like a chick that looked good, so I was just seeing who she was. I think that's actually what it was. Yeah, that's entirely what it was. So I don't remember this person's name because after reading several tweets, I was beginning to just get more infuriated. I had to put my phone down. Basically, this chick is one of those chicks that think men should just give them money. She's a whore, is what I'm saying. And one of the many tweets that I got through, like the theme of it was, if you're giving him pussy, he should be giving you money. And that is true if you're a prostitute. But this chick is someone who thinks that she's a respectable young lady, which by reading her tweets, she is anything but. And I just thought of this logic. So if the logic is a man should give you money because you allow him to have some pussy from you, if that's the logic, then doesn't that work in reverse? You should give him money just because he's giving you dick, right? Am I off base? Because if I don't know about you, but pussy is no more valuable than dick. I mean, don't get me wrong. Dick probably wants pussy more than pussy wants dick. However, one needs the other. So pussy has no value to me. Maybe it does to some simps that are actually paying for it, but I might be taking the conversation another direction, but the thing that pissed me off the most was this is the mentality of a lot of these young chicks now, is don't talk to me unless you can bring something to the table. And by that, they mean money. Give them money. Give them things. Now, not all women, obviously. I think there is a larger portion of these new young ladies, though, that do think this way, because of the popularity and the exposure of mega thoughts like Black China and Amber Rose and any of these other quote unquote Instagram models that are traveling the world seeing things because men are giving them money to fuck them. Now, I don't want to relitigate a topic that is so near and dear to our hearts, how much we despise these sorts of people. But when these bitches have like hundreds and thousands or a million followers, it makes you think, what do we have to look forward to? Men.
Listen, man.
Men, please love and raise your daughters. Be in your daughters' lives. Because if you're not, this is the outcome. You're going to have a whore of a daughter. And the women that you have these babies with, please make sure they're a respectable woman or your daughter is doomed.
Okay, so I hear what you're saying, and I agree with most of what you said. Most. The problem is though, like, I think there's a bigger problem. I think the bigger problem is the fact that they are expecting these things. They want these things because they are already getting these things. The bigger problem is what has happened to men. They've decided to put females like this on a pedestal. These are why these women have millions and millions of followers, right? Somewhere along the lines, men have started to give women anything and everything they ask for without a second thought. You can be a gentleman but still have a backbone, right? So, in certain instances, yes. Like if you have a queen in your life, yes, you treat that woman like a queen. But not every woman deserves to be treated like a queen.
No,
Black Chinas, Kardashians, these are the women that are put on pedestals. Women that can offer nothing more than just sex. Right?
Some may call
That's
them
the bigger
whores.
problem. That's the bigger problem now. It's the fact that men out there, the social media followers, are putting these women on a pedestal like that. So yeah, they think they run shit. They expect to run shit. That's the problem.
Yeah, you're right. And that leads me into the next topic about these types of women. So while scouring the internets, I ran into a story of a young lady somewhere in the UK. She had one of those weird accents, so I imagine that's where she's from. She calls herself a social media influencer. And she and her boyfriend were going on holiday, as they call it, and were looking for hotels to stay at. So she wrote to whom this may concern, but instead of saying that like a an adult, she said, "Hey there," and the letter goes on to say, "I'm a social media influencer. I was thinking that me and your hotel can collaborate. I stay there. I take videos, make posts, giving great reviews about your hotel, and that would draw more business to your hotel for me doing that. So, can I stay there for free?" Now, this is a pretty decent looking young lady. If you're going to ask me what makes her a social media influencer, what gives her followings, it's just her working out, showing off her butt, doing ass workouts and taking videos of them. That's how she's a social media influencer, by selling her body on social media. So that influences people to want to stay at a hotel that this young lady has stayed at. So, the reason she made this video, describing her experience with this particular incident was because it was posted on social media, her letter and the rebuttal from the hotel manager. And the hotel manager basically said, yeah, we're good. We've got enough of a social media following. We got enough of a reputation. We don't need some person that calls themselves a social media influencer to want to stay here for free. Who's going to pay the wait staff that takes care of you? Who's going to pay the maids? Who's going to pay the people who do the laundry? No, we're good on you. And then the video that she recorded basically says that, well, I asked them to, if I could stay at a discounted rate or complimentary, but nowhere in her letter said anything about a discounted rate. So in order to try to save face and, be the victim, she needed to, bend the truth a little bit. Why am I talking about this, IQ? Why does this even matter to me or to our listeners? It doesn't. I'm just pissed off that some people think that they're entitled to something just because they have a pretty face and a few followers on the social media world that doesn't really fucking matter in the real world.
Okay. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I do feel like, again, I agree with you, but I also disagree with you. But
Jesus Christ,
there's a
how
big
do you
if.
disagree with what I said?
There's a big if. Because if this was a I guess a somewhat well thought out plan of hers, I respect the creativity, right? Like if she was like, I'm just going to try to get a free room, right? Just out of this hotel. And if they say no, then I'm going to take it to social media and make something out of nothing, right? Okay. It's an interesting way to get your name buzzing online, I guess. Right. If that's the plan. Right. Now, if that wasn't the plan, if it was just like, I just want a free room, then yeah, I agree with everything you said.
I think both might have been the plan.
Perhaps. But also, I completely side with the hotel as well. Like, I mean, if that's what she's presenting to social media, why would a hotel want that type of attention? It'd be different if like her social media following was just strictly, literally traveling and giving reviews. But no, what establishment would co-sign that type of partnership? None. So yeah, if it's real outrage, she's nuts. If it's fake outrage and she's just trying to make a name or get her name out there more, okay, I'll allow it. Whatever.
Who does she think she is to use the word collaborate with the hotel? Who does she think she is? What the fuck do you mean collaborate? What are you bringing to the table?
Hey, man. The audacity of it is... it's commendable, I guess. I don't know.
I guess this is the whole closed mouth doesn't get fed thing. So for that, yeah, I mean, maybe I should just write to a hotel and see if it'll work. And if it doesn't, oh well.
Yeah. I mean, you never know.
I have to pay anyway.
Shit. I'm sure the times where I've like, reached out to some names like, hey man, come on the Fried Bologna show. They're probably like, who the fuck you think you are? So Same type of thing,
like
probably.
Nipsey Hussle. Yeah.
Right. He's like, no, I'm good. I'm good, man.
Yeah. Who are you? So, also, you've had a week. Actually, you've had about 2 weeks now, but you've had a week to see Black Panther. And from what I recollect, you still have not seen Black Panther.
Still haven't seen it. Now, according to what Google is saying, I have one more week left before my black card gets revoked. So if I don't see it by
you're
next
under
week,
review
then,
right now.
The black card, yeah,
You're under
it's
review.
under further review. Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm taking a major risk at talking to you right now. I don't know what this is going to mean for me going forward with the black delegation, but I hope that I don't get put under review for just associating myself with you right now.
Guilty by association. Yeah, man. I'm a risk. I'm a threat to us all, really. But no, man. I really do plan to see it, and like you said, like I've heard really, really good things about it. The only bad thing I've heard about it so far is, and I'm not one of those people that like really trips about spoilers, really, especially when it comes to comic book movies. But yeah, the only thing I've heard about it so far that's negative is the acting of Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, I guess it's subpar.
I'll touch on that. Shouts out to Michael B. Jordan. I'm actually a Michael B. Jordan fan, and I will say this, and I say this with the straightest intentions. Michael B. Jordan got yoked for this movie, and he looked amazing. Again, I say that with the straightest of intentions. I do understand that the ladies do dig Michael B. Jordan. And man, it's kind of hard to argue with the reason why. I can't hate. He got himself in great shape. He's a handsome young man. And he's in Hollywood. However, the acting, it wasn't great. His acting was not great. Like, I've seen him act better. And he usually is a better actor. I mean, he was a hell of an actor. Another Wire reference. He was a hell of an actor when he played Wallace on The Wire. It's just in as Killmonger, I understand why they cast him, because I think he was probably the best choice as far as box office is concerned, but he just wasn't a great actor in this movie. But he didn't ruin the movie. He didn't ruin the movie, not at all. He just, it just wasn't his best performance.
Now, do you think that's because just as far as his range goes as an actor, it's just, hey, maybe he's just not good at playing a villain? Like, are you saying that just him being a villain, it wasn't believable?
No, because I think, like, as far as, like, all right, so his body language and his eyes, I believed it. Like, I believe that he had that evil in him. I believe he had that hate in him. Based off of, like, the way he was moving. You know what I mean? Like, you can tell somebody's mad based off, like, their body language and their eyes. Like, that was believable. It's just the way he articulated or elocuted his lines. Like, I didn't believe it. Like, I didn't believe he was upset. Like, he just didn't. He didn't make me feel his words. It just kind of sounded like he was just reciting lines. But the movie was so great that didn't fuck with my opinion of the movie at all.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Cause I was wondering what the real deal was. Cause you go online sometimes and you read that, and they made it seem like he was just doing C- level work in there, but I don't know.
Nah, he wasn't that bad. He's just been better is all.
Damn. Okay. All right, man. One more week, man. hopefully I can see it tomorrow. We'll see. So the black card won't get revoked, and then we can have a proper discussion about it. Because I'm gonna have my notes.
Yeah, well, you got one more week before this podcast is either continuing or I'm going to be looking for a new host, a new co-host.
Yeah, I gotta beat that deadline. Yeah.
Yes.
No, man. I got it, man. I got it. We're gonna take care of it. Yeah, because it's been too long. Yeah. Hey, man. I heard of a crazy story on the news, man. Now, basically, what happened was there was a father that he works night shifts, Monday through Saturday, so he sleeps during the day. He's married, has 3 kids total, right? Now, on this particular day, he was watching one of the kids, a 2-year-old, right? Now, I guess he was trying to sleep during the day, and I guess he put the 2-year-old in like a playpen or whatever, and tried to get a couple hours of sleep. Apparently, he wasn't sleeping too well because the night shift job and having to watch a 2-year-old, I guess, was taking a toll on him, right?
Okay.
Couldn't get to sleep. So one day, while he's watching the 2-year-old, the kid just won't be quiet. Like, he's just kind of like up, has a lot of energy, and the kid won't go to sleep. The dad snaps, kills the kid.
Oh my god!
By slitting his throat, puts the kid in
my god!
Puts the kid in a garbage bag, and I guess dumps him outside. Calls his wife's sister and tells the sister what he did. Like, calmly, just said, I did this. He wouldn't be quiet. I couldn't get to sleep. Whatever, right? And the police come, arrest him. He doesn't resist arrest. Goes to jail. He's taken to jail. No prior arrest records. Accounts from friends and family is he's always been a stand-up guy, a good father. And the 2 other kids, like, granted, the article didn't say he was a great father, but there was no reports of the 2 other kids being, abused or anything like that. From all accounts, good father, good husband. So that's pretty fucking crazy, right? Like,
yeah.
Dude just snapped. Now,
yeah. I mean, shit. I guess that can happen.
Yeah. So, what's scary about this story is 2 things here. 2 crazy things. Now, based on the facts I just gave you, the man killed a kid. He's more than likely going to go to jail for a very long time. However, what's scary about that is if the man has enough money, he can get out of it.
No, there's no way he's going to get out of it. He might get out of prison sooner than doing life, but he's not getting out of this.
There are crazier things have happened. Just like,
bro,
O.J. Simpson.
He admitted killing the kid to his sister-in-law or whoever that was.
Right. No, what? Yeah, you're right. Like he's not. He's going to jail. But what I'm saying is, like, he can literally. He may be able to get out very sooner than later, based on the defense.
Yes, that's possible.
Because there's like the sleep deprivation. He wasn't in his right mind. What the lack of sleep can do to a man's body and mind. Like that argument, they could literally make that a good ass argument. But of course, the fact it does hurt him that he admitted it. But still, like, lack of sleep can. I'm talking like I'm on fucking CSI here, but lack of sleep can lead to possible insanity, right? Whatever. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, I
But
mean, you know,
other
if
okay.
there's any lawyer out there that represents this guy that doesn't just seek anything but the death penalty, well, I mean, you know, say can you just give him life and not the death penalty? Like anybody else trying to get him out is a piece of shit.
Yeah, but there's tons of piece of shit that will do it. You know, if the price
Absolutely.
is right, they will do it. You
That
know,
is very true.
So that's what's really scary. Now, the other scary thing is about the story is, like I said, he just snapped. He snapped. It sounds like that shit. Can that shit happen to any fucking body? That's what's scary.
Yeah, I imagine it could.
Jeez.
But I don't know. Everybody, you know, every person their trigger may be different. So who knows what it is for you? Who knows what it is for me?
Damn. That's some scary shit, man. Yeah, had to tell you that story. That was nuts, man.
I got a crazy story, and in this story, I can't name any names.
Okay.
But I will say it's not me, and I mean that for real. It's not me. It's not like I know somebody. Okay. No, for real, it ain't me. So I've got two people I know. They are related. They're cousins. And one person has a baby moms who they have two kids together. One's a little older, one's a little younger. But they had fallen outs many times. Apparently, this guy might put his hands on her before. They're not together, you know, like, and they're not cool with each other either. But for the sake of their kids, you know, they do interact. They, you know, the grandparents watch the kids from time to time. Well, actually, I wouldn't say from time to time. More often than not, that's what the kids are at the grandparents' house. So, insert in the next cousin, who is a single man, just out here, you know, just doing his thing, working, and you know, dating casually from here to here on a couple of the dating sites. The, you know, maybe the Tinders and the Plenty of Fishes and all that kind of fishes, Plenty of Fish, and that kind of shit. So he comes across this chick, and I guess they both swipe right on each other, start messing each other. And she's like, "Hey, you look familiar." He's like, "Yeah, you know, you kind of look familiar too." And turns out it is cousin number one's baby mom. So, yeah, right. So once they kind of figure out who one another is, she's like, "Oh, it doesn't matter. You know, he won't care." Well, actually, not that he won't care. This is good for him. He deserves it. And so cousin number two is like, "Yo, I'm not, he ain't gonna try to fuck me just to get back at him." And he goes, "Also, you know, this might create a lot more drama than it's worth." So, that's where I'll leave you because I don't know the conclusion yet. But I put the ball in your court for a second and ask you what your opinion is on this situation. Oh! I should have said this before you answered that question. I apologize. So these two cousins used to be cool back in the day. Now, also, cousins by marriage, not blood. So they used to be cool, real cool back in the day. You know, they hooped together. They went to school together. Back in the day, cousin number one, the ones with the baby moms, he snitched on cousin number two about, like, to his girl that he was messing with some other girls back in the day. He did that just so he could try to get with her. So he's done some shady shit to cousin number two in the past. So I'll let you answer the question, but I needed to let you know, like, the history of things. So maybe that might change your opinion how you answered the question.
Well, you know where I stand on shit like this. See, I'm just one of those people where I tend to kind of think things through a little bit more, and it's just not worth the trouble. Like, it's not. It's just not worth the trouble to cause grief in other people's lives. even if you were
Right.
done wrong beforehand. Like, I really can't relate to this fucking story at all because I just wouldn't entertain it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't understand the logic or the thought process. I'm sorry, I can't really give a better answer than that.
No, you're
I'm
right.
just big on loyalty.
You're right. And just so that there's no confusion out there, I completely support not entertaining this at all. Not even putting yourself in the position to where anything could happen. So I'll go out and say that right now. But what I find fascinating is how willing she is to do this shit. Maybe tear a family apart just to get back at someone who hurt her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's fucking bold. Hurt makes you do some crazy shit, but goddamn.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So, knowing this person like I do, cousin number 2, the one who's, I'm pretty sure he's not going back and forth with whether or not he should do it or not. I know he's already made his decision not to. But I still, it would be nice to get some answers on what's going on. So if I remember, if I hear anything, I'll keep our listeners posted on what happened, or what didn't happen.
Yeah, please do. Please do, because we're gonna need some updates on this story. Yeah, hopefully by the next call we have some new developments, man. That's an interesting story. Jesus Christ, it's a lot of drama.
Yeah, very interesting story. I know. Just and like, it's unnecessary drama that could be created from it. No matter how cool you are or aren't with your cousin, blood or not, you don't do shit like that. But hey, people live their lives the way they want to, man. I'm not here to judge them. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, that loyalty and just like morality. It's just it's a dying thing. It seems to be.
Yeah.
So, kind of like a hypothetical question for you here. So, let's say, just based on your experience, just your life experiences, right? Let's say there's a total of 10 people in a room, right? And they're paired with a partner, right? So there's 5 groups of 2, essentially, right? And let's just say that each group, they've known each other for a long time, like me and you, like they have that type of relationship, known each other for a number of years, like brothers, pretty much, right?
Right.
Now, they're taken into a room separately, each group, right? Like one person goes in one room, the other person goes in the other, right? They're essentially offered, let's just say, in cash, $250,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's all yours, it's all theirs, but in return, they essentially have to pretty much stab their best friend in the back. Not literally, but they essentially have to air out all of that person's dirty laundry.
Mm-hmm.
And they get the money. Like, deepest, darkest secrets, it's all in the public. Social media everywhere, right? You're essentially ruining that other person's reputation and, in some ways, life, right?
Uh-huh.
In your experience, how many groups out of the 5 would turn on each other? 2 out of 5? 3 out of 5? 4 out of 5? Based on how you know what the world is and how it works and things you've experienced and seen.
Easily 3 out of 5.
That was my exact answer. Yes.
3 out of 5.
3 out of 5.
Yeah, because 60% of people, 60% of the people that come into your life aren't about shit.
Right.
And the
That's a good point,
other 40%, and the other 40% are quality people. And it takes some time, a little while, to discern who is who. But it eventually all comes out. And if you put a bag of money in front of them, it'll definitely tell you what you need to know.
Right. Yeah. 100% agree with you there. And I think I would have no problem turning down the money at all. At all.
Yeah, 250,000, I will turn it down. Now, if it was 250 million, AIQ, it's been a real ride. I hope you can get over it. I got a check waiting for you once you stop being all sensitive and emotional. But I took the 250 mil.
Okay. I mean,
and
$250 million, that's a lot of money. $250 million, that's a lot of money. Now, here's the thing, though. Let's just keep the price $250K, right? Let's just say that's the price. No higher. Mm-hmm. See, I know a lot of people in my circle, right? Now, not like super close, but I know them. They would do it. They would take that money and stab the friend in the back. So, if you're gonna do that for $250K, right? And this is a crazy argument I'm gonna make, but I think it's actually accurate. If given more money, they would kill the friend. I'll tell you why.
Oh,
because
that is a whole different conversation right there. That's crazy. Yeah, let's hear this explanation.
And it's as simple as this. They've already named the price for stabbing a friend in the back.
Right.
They would have a price to kill their best friend. They absolutely would have a price. There's no denying that.
Murder? I don't know, man. That's a whole different extreme.
But I think that's what I don't mean, like, of course this would help if I had, stats in here and shit, but I'm just saying, like, the way the human mind works and the way greed works. Like, if someone's willing to stab their best friend in the back for $250,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
They would definitely kill their friend for $10 million.
You're probably right. I would like to believe you're not right, but you likely are. And I hope, like, the close people I have in my circle, the people that I consider, family, or the closest thing to family, I think those people wouldn't take the money in either scenario to stab me in the back or to kill me. I'm certain they wouldn't.
Right, yeah.
Like, but, motherfuckers that I'm cool with and that we might text from time to time, yeah, they'll definitely stab me in the back and murder me.
Yeah. Now, what I haven't told you is, I'm about 1.2 miles away from your house, and I'm looking at you with through a scope. I've taken the money. TC.
Yeah, well, we both know that you can't shoot worth shit. So,
how do you know?
Nigga,
how do you know that?
A gun.
That's not correct at all.
Oh, it's not correct. Tell me when you shot a gun and tell me what you shot. Tell me when.
I can't tell you when, but I've definitely shot a Glock. Definitely. Yeah, I've shot guns before. Yeah. It's not new to me. Now I don't have the artillery that you have in my possession.
A Glock, and you're talking about, if you're 1.2 miles away, you're likely probably shooting a Barrett 50 cal. You think you can shoot a pistol and then shoot a sniper rifle, and that those things would be similar?
No, never said that. Never said that.
I mean,
I'm literally.
That's why I'm not worried.
No, I'm just disagreeing with the gun thing. But no, like that's like high level military stuff. No, I was being facetious. No, there's no way I can make that shot. There's no way I can make that shot if I was trained, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
well, I hope
there's no way you can make that shot either.
Oh, I know I couldn't make it. I'm hell no, I ain't making that shot. 1.2 miles. I probably would have. I struggle with 1.2 feet. No, I'm just kidding. But
yeah, same here.
I mean, hey, I shot a rifle with the scope, and I have the scar to prove it. I shot the stem off of a pumpkin that was probably 40 yards away. And that is my claim to fame. And we're talking about 40 yards. That's not that long of a way away.
But at the end of the day, job well done. That's impressive, I would say. I mean, the average civilian. I mean, if I was like standing there next to you and I saw it, like, damn, good shit, man. You know, I give you props. I don't think you should like not be proud of that. You know, is it some Hawkeye shit? No, not even close. No, I get. I mean, it's a cool shot. Nah, but I'm just saying, like, it takes some fucking Mark Wahlberg and Shooter type experience to be able to make shots like that. Like, I remember one scene in that movie. He was talking about, checking the fucking humidity in the air and the wind speed, and he said it becomes a trig problem on the fly. I'm like, trig, nigga, I got a D in trig. Ugh. It's like you missed your mark by 20 feet. What are you doing, Agent X? What are you doing? So you forgot to carry the one, bruh. Yeah. Yeah, but real quick though, speaking of like, shooting targets and shit, I saw a crazy YouTube video. Random shit, but somehow I ended up on a video where there was a hunter he was talking about, his experience hunting deer. And I guess on his channel, like every now and then he'll take the camera out and he'll go in the woods and hunt like buck or mooses or whatever, right? So he shows this video where I don't know how many yards he's away, but he is pretty far away from the target. And there's like this deer. He goes for a kill shot, tries to shoot the deer in the head, right? And in regular speed, it looks like he kills the deer, right? Mm-hmm. So it cuts back to him talking to the camera, and he's like, at first I thought that was a spot on shot, like I thought I nailed it, right? And he says, but if you review the tape and you watch it in slow motion, here's what really happened. And basically, he shows the tape in super slow mo, and he completely missed the deer's head. But the sheer velocity of the bullet passing by the deer's head caused the fucking deer's head to kind of explode. Whatever round he was using.
He did. Wait. Let me understand this. The bullet did not go through the deer's head, but
no.
The force that was behind the bullet made the deer's head explode.
Yeah, not explode, but like it
knocked it out.
Like the bullet whizzing by the bullet whizzing by the deer's head opened up a big enough wound on the deer's head where the deer dropped dead.
Wow,
dope as hell. I mean,
I've never heard of any shit like that before in my life.
I wish I could find a video. Hey, if I can find a video link, we got to post it on our YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
And please, I hope this is a real video because that's dope. Yeah, science, bruh. Science.
Man, if there's a bullet out there that you don't even got to put through somebody to kill him, fuck, we're all fucked.
Right? Damn.
I wonder when laser guns are going to come out. How far are we from laser guns?
I don't know, man. I mean, you got to be honest, like, and I mean, no disrespect to like, innovation and technology, but 2018, I thought we would be more futuristic, like, just a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean, I wasn't expecting some jets and shit, but
maybe they're suppressing some of our technological advances. But also, we do live in a country where we could have cars that run on fucking hopes and dreams. But since it's more profitable to buy oil, then that's what our cars are going to run on is gas. So, we're probably, I would say probably capitalism and greed is probably keeping us from technological advances.
yeah, that's a good point. Damn good point. Yeah. Shit, we probably have teleportation devices right now. It's like, well, no, let's make these motherfuckers sit in traffic still. 10 years.
They're going to burn as much fuel as possible to keep our pockets lined for generations.
Damn.
But anyway, man, we're about almost damn near an hour and a half into this. I don't really have very much more to talk about. If you got anything, let's get to it. But if not,
I think that's it, man. Let's wrap this up, bro.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate your time, man. Thank you very much.
Likewise, man. Likewise. Always a good time. Chat with you, bro.
Yes, sir. And as always, man, we're just a couple of suburban hood niggas out here trying to make it.
Amen, brother. Amen.
All right, man. You have a good one.
All right, man. You too. Peace.
Peace.